All right. Okay.
Naughty.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
That was quite a.
We tried to go live 30 minutes
production.
early, and we ended up going 15 minutes late.
What a production.
So I don't know what happened. Everything was set public, and Jesus H. Christus.
Do. Ba-da-da. Dee-da-dee-da-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee.
I love like seeing this conversation. I don't know if Michael Blackthorn's going to stop in the chat or in the live now or not, but it's interesting how my response elicited I didn't imply that. There was an assumption that I felt that way, which I think is funny because it fits our topic today about perception. I didn't have the assumption that he implied that we weren't, that we don't know what we're doing, because we don't know what we're doing half the time, which is fine. But just to point out that interesting perception was not there. But yes, we're effing live. Freaking finally. So I don't know what the problem was, but it took a new stream key to get it working. So I don't know if YouTube just said, screw you, we're done with your URL and stream keys. So now we have a live 2 stream key, which is fine, which I probably should have started with. But the stream is healthy. Everything works.
Anxiolytics.
I'm going to send a message to everybody. Our stream needs Reiki healing. But unfortunately, we do have to end at 11 because we have a massage scheduled.
Mental health.
Which we need to do.
Physical health.
But anyway. I was trying to, like, earlier I had the music playing. It was really nice. I was very happy with it. So now I don't even have the music or anything ready. But I'm going to play it. Hopefully it's not too loud now. I'll have to make some adjustments so that it's not too loud. Yeah, we'll turn that down a hair. All right, so hello.
Hello, Betty.
Gremlins in the Machine.
Hello, TK Sean.
Woo woo. Thank you guys for putting up with that. That was fun. That was fun. So yeah. Oh no, I want to throat punch the internet right now. But like I said, new stream key, got it sorted out, which I guess does happen. I haven't adjusted the stream key probably since we started using this laptop. So it hopefully is better. So we are going to get started quickly because again, we have a short period of time. Batty, thank you. I do feel stressed. Not like incredibly like lost, but I don't like when things don't work. That is my number one stressor, is when something doesn't function in its intended way. And that is something I have said for much of my life.
That's okay. We may have to carry part of this over to next week to finish it, but that's okay. We will. It can be a 2-parter.
So
it's an important one.
It is an important one. It's definitely not a tarot day.
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
we won't be doing that today. However, still a really good topic.
Oh my gosh. So I went in there and I was kind of catching up on stuff, and I was like, oh my Lord, we got to do something on perception and communication. And I wanted to kind of take it back to point to the original point of somebody's post,
right?
Which was perspective, perception. And then everybody got into rape and all this kind of stuff. I had no idea. I know you can't say that. Sorry. Ooh, R-A-P-E.
Yeah, you just got us. Well, this video is blocked from ever making money.
I don't know how it got where it went, but
Well, I do.
It wasn't the original topic.
I do, and I think that is a topic that would be interesting, and we've talked about that before, but we are not talking about that today. We are going to explicitly not talk about that today.
About what?
I'll get there. Give me a minute.
Hijacking?
No. Privilege.
Privilege,
I think that's a topic would be really cool to talk about, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about, I think, the original conversation and see where it goes from that article. And the article, what are you laughing at?
Listen, when is Mercury in retrograde? It seemed like now.
Sir, please do not do that, Hootless. I don't want you to change, because that's how the conversations and topics are born.
You just put the topic.
They need to occur that way. They need to occur that way. They need to happen, because even if there are things that are, and I don't even want to say misperceived, because I don't think they were misperceived. It's just people had in their mind topics that they probably needed to talk about, and that's the way it went.
Well, to me, when I read it today, I went and the first thing I did, I wanted to go back to I was like, what the hell is this? The original thing that was posted had nothing. To me, I first went to that thing and it was a subreddit or whatever, that girl, and I said, these people, I don't think read the original thing that was posted.
I don't know that that's true.
I don't know how they got on this. I'm sorry, it wasn't Hootless. It was whatever else y'all got from that. I don't get it. I got what you were saying.
I get it. I get both sides. I get both pieces. I get where it went and why it went the way it went. But again, those are two different topics. They are connected.
Yeah.
But I don't want ever anybody to not have the conversation go the way it is. Even when other people in the conversation pull it in a different direction, that's okay, because that's where the conversation apparently needs to go, and we need to have that discussion at some point. But I do want to stick to perception, because all this fits together, and freedom of mind, I think, is the best way to put it. So I think that's the good topic, because this happens with me and Malice a lot, or Adius a lot. When we're having conversations, you'll hear it, and I'll correct him constantly. Hope you're in the chat, Adius, because we do this. He'll say something, I'll say something, and he'll say, well, I know you don't like this thing. Like, I absolutely do like that thing. I have no problem with that thing. Like, me and you are looking at things from two different sides of a coin. And it's not that we have different opinions, even though we do. It's that we're focused on a different perspective. And my brain, and we'll explain it to Twisted Chaos, but my brain, oftentimes in a topic, goes to a very, very fine-tuned, specific piece of it. And a lot of times I will speak even an opinion I don't have to get an opinion. You know what I mean? And so people will take that as an agreement, or this or that or whatever. But I think that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of talk about, why the topic of freedom of mind is why it is not the topic of perception specifically, and why we went that route. But to give a little bit of background, again, I'm going to repeat, I do not care ever what people talk about in Discord, and I don't want anybody ever muted or feeling like they have to censor or watch what they say. But the one caveat to that is I want to make sure that it doesn't get to the point where people get angry and start getting frustrated with each other, because that shuts down conversation. And you will hear me in that Discord. I will ask, or say, we need to keep it a certain way, we need to keep it in a positive light, or we need to be careful what we say. And that's not to tell somebody to stop feeling a certain way. It's to get people to stop saying, well, that's stupid, or your line of thinking isn't appropriate. That is the stuff that I don't like. I don't like it when somebody says, well, you're missing the point. The point is, no. That's not how we talk to each other. That's not going to get us where we need to go.
Maybe that's not your point.
And to Batty, 100% healthy, polite debate, but I want to take out even the word debate. We're not in here to change people's opinions. We're here to express our own and have conversations. If somebody's opinion changes, then it changes. There are hard stops to that. If somebody comes into the Discord, somebody comes into this chat, and they start calling people names and saying, certain shit, yeah, we're going to censor that, because you know what? It's my channel. Do what the fuck I want. But that conversation to me did not get out of hand. It did. I think there were some moments where people might have felt really strongly and got a little chippity. I don't know the right word, but I don't feel like it got inappropriate. I think it was fair. Yes. And the challenging, we should be challenging, but we can't take people to our feeling. We just have to express our thoughts. An example for me would be, white men have privilege that white women and black women do not have. You know what? I don't agree with that because of this. Well, you know what? You're wrong because that's where I have a problem. It's not you're wrong because it's, hey, I see it differently. Here's what I'm thinking. I can see where you're coming from. Right? We have to have conversation that allows people to discuss things and not judge them completely like they're all of a sudden wrong about everything in life. And I'm not saying that's what people did. I'm just putting that out there as that's why I don't feel like the conversation got wrong. Yeah. I think I don't see Mama Dragon in here this morning, but I think she's very passionate about it, and she's had a very specific experience. I know her very well. And I think she was coming from that experience, and I think people just morphed it into a different topic, which is important and we need to talk about at some point. But I want to just go to the article.
The article, do you have it? Can you pull it?
I can.
Yeah, let's look at this.
And the reason because Hootless and I talked a little bit afterwards. Yeah. And what I found interesting is I think we kind of had the same, wait a minute, I didn't ever think of it this way. And I think when we think of it that way, there is a feeling of, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, what is that note? Like all that stuff. You can't come in and hijack somebody's topic. You can put your whatever you want to change it to, but I don't know. This is weird to me.
I mean, I agree. It's fine I don't even mind conversations being hijacked and moving in the direction they need to move because.
But don't get nasty.
Right. Just don't get nasty. And again, I'm not going to say that anybody got nasty because I don't think.
I mean, like, yeah.
I don't want anybody
defensive.
watching to also feel like they've been nasty. There was some defensiveness, but that's okay because the conversation that was had was not the one necessarily that was in the article.
Yeah, so the whole point was to bring it back. What was the article that Hootless had brought up in the first place? That was my
Mom Dragon in the house. Okay, no worries. We had a total screwy
we couldn't even get
live. I just didn't want to speak about you when you weren't here, so I wanted to make sure I said it the way I said it.
But what's the actual article is what I want to see.
So I want to preface this whole conversation with two things. I do want to take this article in the direction of how women experiencing in a privileged way from a woman's experience, and I want to do that next week on our show next week.
Okay.
I want to take it in that direction because I am not a woman. I want to hear that perspective and where those things are. But I want to draw this back to the specific thing about perspective. When I hear somebody say first person or third person, I think of two things. The first thing I think of is gaming because I'm a gamer. I literally think of, do I play games in first person or third person, and which do I prefer?
That's cool.
And how do I play it? And my second thing I think of is reading and writing. When I'm reading a book, do I read in first person? Is the book written in first person or third person? How do I prefer it, depending on what I'm reading? And then if I'm writing something, the only thing I write in first person is journaling. I would like to write something non-journaling in first person and see what that feels like, because I think that'll give me a different perspective that I've never had. I just don't think of it that way. So that in mind, this is the frame that I applied to the article that was posted. And the article is, do women experience the world in third person? Yes, please. So this is, first of all, I'm going to also say this is an opinion piece, right? This is an opinion article. It is not a scientific article. It is somebody's feelings about how they experience the world. Okay?
Not peer reviewed.
And you know what? Let's see. I'm afraid I don't want to break. I don't want to break.
Oh my God. Look at me.
I don't want to break our stuff here, but I'm going to try.
It'll probably cut off.
I'll probably close everything down. Yeah. I'm going to try.
The sprites are among us.
To share.
And the salamanders.
The screen.
The Undines. I'd like to.
It's going to be a little off-centered, but I need it this way so that I can see it just right, y'all. So I apologize for the wonky centeredness, but this is the article. So again, this is an experience of a person, and it's a theory that may explain why women do things that make no sense and why they use POV wrong, which I find very interesting. In our conversation, this is what the person wrote, and I don't like it because she wrote why women do things that make no sense. Like that to me is already, she's self-judging. She's already third person. Like seriously, do you not catch that? She's already third personing this conversation. So I think it's interesting.
Like people, men or women, both, when I see like on social media use that term POV wrong, I'm like, what are they talking about?
They absolutely use POV wrong.
Do they know what point of view means? Because it's like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, think of it this way. They're thinking of my point of view is, which is my opinion. So when they hear POV, many people, I'm not going to say most, but many people are thinking, well, what my point of view is that this. And that is kind of the same thing because in a first person point of view, you're experiencing it as yourself. So, for example...
That's why it doesn't make sense when it's like, because you're thinking of like a general,
right.
More general thing. And
they're like, my point of view is that I believe that this, and this. I'm like, that's a point of view, but the point of view that we're talking about is, if I'm doing a first person point of view, then I am looking out away from what my eyes would see. So completely different from, third person, which is like this picture here, right? This picture is in third person. So this is what the author is saying. She's like, POV, the hyper independent eldest daughter who can only feel things when she's alone in a foreign country.
And she's saying point of view, but that she's meaning her point of view.
Yeah, her point of view is, which she has this in third person. Yeah. Which begets the question of the article.
Right.
Why is she saying her point of view and then using a third person point of view? Because if this was first person, her point of view, she would be focusing on what she was seeing, right?
To a general group.
To a general group.
That's the weird thing. Yeah.
So this begets the question then, I'm using my good language. If that's the case, then... what is that? Oh, I was like, that's a boob. Nope, that's her.
It's
that's
a
her body.
stomach.
This is saying like, why do they completely use POV wrong? Is it that they're dumb, or perhaps they really do see the world in a different perspective? I'm
certainly not gonna call women dumb.
If we're generalizing here, they're dumb. I'm kidding.
Ooh,
if we're generalizing here, point of view, like people use it, not just women. Everybody uses POV wrong. I see men using it a lot wrong, but men probably a lot less. Why? Because a lot of people like POV porn, and that's from the man's perspective, and so they know what it means. When you do POV, you're looking at the thing you're looking at. So when you experience this, and again, this is also a gamer, by the way. The person writing this article is a gamer. I'm a gamer. These are the perspectives the frame of reference that I'm picturing in. I believe women generally on a philosophical level experience the world in third person. That's why when they say POV, instead of showing first person, they show themselves. You can also argue to say when somebody says POV, it doesn't mean first person or third person. They're just saying point of view in a generic way, but it is almost always that point of view, right? So that is the point. This changes your reality, right? This is the sense of perception of reality, and think that they can theoretically explain a lot of the behavior they show. Photographing something you want to show. This is funny. Yep. 1,000% true. If I want to show you something I'm looking at, I'm not going to show you me in that picture. Now, what does that matter? This is very clearly an image. Males in general. I think this is funny too. We can talk about this. Trans women do the one on the right. Just saying. And a lot of gay men also do some of the ones on the right. But even gay men still do the object. If it's an object, they're still objectifying things. So if you're experiencing thing in third person, right? What does that do? It's objectifying yourself. Just like she did up here in this comment. This to me is a bit of objectification. Why do women do things that make no sense? She's self-denigrating there to me. She was right into this post. So this makes so much sense to me. Mama Dragon,
I want laughter.
can I just say, for all of us, the people in this chat, we're not normal if you didn't know. Being a part of a community like this, that is, our awareness is also different.
Gucci.
And Mama Dragon, you made a really important point to me one time when I was talking about the Flowering Wand, the book, and how I was having trouble with it. And your comment was, well, maybe because you've already dealt with some of those things. And I think a lot of people in our community have dealt with a lot of these things. So we're looking at it through both lenses. I don't objectify women. I don't objectify people. So I don't understand why people would do that, which makes it hard to understand why people think this way, which changes my frame of reference and my conversation.
I do. Tina's little baby.
There is something called the objectification theory, and before you roll your eyes, the internet isn't here to say les women oppressed, even though that is true. This is just me, the author, using an idea out there to support that women do report, show symptoms of, if you will, experiencing the world in third person. And here's an explanation. She did this from AI. And this is, we'll go to the theory real quick, and then I'm going to pause. It works. It's repeated objectification. A girl, woman receives messages through media, advertising, social media peers that appearance is important and subject to evaluation. Read, trans women, gay men also get that repeated objectification. I'm not comparing the two. They're very different, but I see some similarities in some of those actions. Internalization. They internalize it their entire life. This is called self-surveillance. I've actually heard of this before. It's very interesting. So basically, they have already started looking at themselves in third person as if you're on a computer screen watching your player play the game. It's very different. Oh, yeah. It causes body dissatisfaction, body shame, appearance anxiety, all this stuff. So here's an example. Someone is home alone and catches herself adjusting her hair in the mirror every time she walks past it. Or she chooses pajamas she feels cute in, not because anyone will see them, but because she's accustomed to evaluating her appearance. I don't think that way. Trust me. I don't give a shit how I look. I will wear my ugliest pajamas with dog hair on them out to Walgreens to get something. And so will some women. That's not the point. While exercising, she's thinking more about how her body looks than how strong or healthy she feels. These things make sense, right? So I'm going to pause there. And I'm going to say, this is the point, if we read the article, where I can see how the conversation jumps to privilege and all those things that go along with that because of how objectification is. So this is where I can see the conversation in the Discord that went the way that it did, and I think that that's an important conversation to have. So we're going to have that again. We're going to continue this topic next week because it's a big one. So she talks about going in and playing the games, and this is where I really started to feel like I understood a little bit more. But with that, I want to catch up on chat real quick because we had so many issues with chat this morning. We didn't set our chat up the way we normally do, so I've been missing it. I'm gonna transition back for a minute so we can catch up. But so that's kind of where I'm coming from when we're having the conversation in the Discord, and it was a little confusing for me because I'm like, how did this get here from perception? Because this is kind of where I wanted to get to. All right, so next thing we'll be here next week. Yes, y'all need to be here next week. Paranormal, Twisted, Mama Dragon, Tabati, all of you guys. I want you on this conversation, and if anybody wants to be with us actively, we can try to find a way to get you guys on to have the conversation in a panel way if you want. I'll see if we can figure that out. We probably won't be able to do it here. We'd have to do it at the computers. With the Discord, but I would be interested in doing that if you guys want to actually come on and chat, because again, I don't have that perspective. Twisted uses POV, so I'm saying you're using first person, Twisted, when you write it. And God, you layer point of view on top of it too. I just never considered anybody would look at anything but first person. I just never, it never was a thought. See, individuals, ergo, we all have individual opinions. Abso-freaking-lutely. You're not normal, Twisted. That's true. Hint. See myself in a picture. I want either. Yep. Nope. Me too. So we got all that. So we're at that. Don't insult us with the normie word. Yeah. No kidding. Normal is definitely overrated. Comfy clothes. There's no such thing as normal. Normal means perfect. Yeah. You know, that's another topic I would like to talk about one day. Normal. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't like it at all. I legit had the discussion that I don't care what anybody thinks of me. We had this discussion. Who was it with?
Adidas?
No. in person yesterday.
Oh, was it
Kava? Yeah,
Kate?
it was Kate.
Well, the group probably more so, but yeah.
There was a conversation about, people kept saying, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I'm like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
We care. What we have to do is disassociate our response and our validating our self-worth based on what other people say. I do care what you say and what you think, but I'm not going to use it to value myself. That's the difference. I see the world differently, but I'm not everyone's cup of tea, right? We're with you. God, if you had the same cup of tea every day, that'd suck.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Twisted. I'm very different at work than at home. But I think the whole idea behind this was, if and again, this is just me saying my opinion, in a video game aspect, we have this perception and our frame of reference, and I think I have a pretty wide frame of reference. I have very significantly expanded it. But when you shared this article, Hootless, I'm like, holy crap, I never ever even considered that. And that really got me to think about objectification, women, and what it must feel like, even though you don't know that's what you're doing, but to think that you're in third person, how would that affect caring what other people think?
She's judging me. I need a break.
Right? Like, knowing that this is a thing for some women. Granted, again, this is kind of an Ed piece, but thinking that a lot of women may think in third person about themselves, to me is like, holy crap. Because you know what? I don't like third person in video games, in certain games. Cyberpunk was one of them. The immersion of the game, becoming the character, I had to be in it to really feel it. And if it was in third person, I don't think I would have liked it as much. I would not have experienced it the same way. To say that out loud, if third person made it so that I didn't like this experience of a game that I was so incredibly ingrained in, how would I feel if I lived my life looking at things in third person a lot? That's gotta suck.
That's a good point.
So does anybody in our chat, any of the normies, if they're in here, is there anybody that thinks in third person, or maybe you switch back and forth? I never ever considered it in my entire life. Selfies are inherently third person. This is weird.
This is weird.
It's really weird to think about. And Hootless, I agree with you on that. You care what people think and change behaviors based on feedback. Yeah, I do too. The one thing that's important that you say about that, though, is about people with respect, that you respect. It's like you are not even changing because of their feedback, but you take that feedback and you process it and then change. A lot of people change without processing it because they want the outcome to be, I have a friend, or I have somebody to give me attention, or be feeling with me, or be present with me, and that is not healthy. I think it's very healthy to take feedback, process it. Rook, you've done this extremely well recently. It's a new thing for you, you said.
It is new.
Once you have taken it and then process it, and then you can say, fuck you, bitch. That's okay.
But
you had to process
intentionally do that because I'm very quick. Although I was upset immediately, I took steps back and I didn't take it personally. I felt it personally, but I didn't take it personally until I could look at it objectively, away from the initial upset. And it took over
I'm not there
a week.
yet.
It took over a week and a half. Like I'm just now getting the point. That was almost 2 weeks ago, to where I can respond with a level head and say, no, that what I felt was correct. That was not right. But it was
not
the
there yet.
process of going through it. Like I haven't even responded to that person with that report they sent, but I think tomorrow I will. And I'm not going to put everybody like that person did, but I am going to put her two superiors in my response.
You should talk to them first.
Yeah, I am.
Before you respond.
Yeah.
The superiors.
To explain it. Yeah. But I'm not gonna let. She's not gonna let the person do that to me. Whereas before, though, even recently, 6 months ago, I would have, man, lit into it, been really emotional, made an immediate decision without thought. You know what I mean? So thank you for recognizing that in me. I'm really trying to to have a better process.
It's helpful for me because I feel like I'm good at that sometimes, but then I'm not. And I immediately go in and did the same thing myself and internalize it the opposite direction. People feeling positive about me. Giving me positive feedback, and I'm like, no, that can't be true. That can't be me. I'm not that good. And so I don't process. I'm like, well, maybe I should listen to them. I am good at this thing. Let me go ahead and internalize it and think it through. And it's the opposite, but the same. Yes, we use empathy at work, and there are areas we have to shift. That is smart, I think, to do that. But when you find somewhere you work that you can bring your fully authentic self, that is a blessing. It is very not common. Like, I don't have that at work. Because like Tabati says, we know they won't accept some of the bits and pieces of the whole, which is sad because when you bring your whole self, you do things so much better. And I am not 100% at my work either. I'm not 100. I'd say I'm 80% myself at work. I limit 20% of myself. I don't speak up as much as I do at other times, and I'm a lot more reserved. Especially if my boss is present. My boss is present, I'm quiet. And I tell her that. I said, I have things to say. And she's like, well, you need to say them. I'm like, I won't. I will never say them while you're present. Because you're the boss. And I was taught, and I believe that I do what you want us to do, even if I disagree. Now, if it's just me and you in private, I'll tell you. Yeah. Sure will. But if we're in a business setting and there's people around and I disagree with you, it's not going to happen. I need to change that, though. I want to so I'm going to go read a couple things up, and then I'm going to go back to Tabati because she said something really important, I think, that I want to talk about. And good morrow, Manny. Bonen tagon, no, bonen matenon. Bonen matenon. Bonen matenon, manio. Manio. So we do change at work. I think that's important to know. But paranormal, you are making sense. You can switch depending on your trauma. And what's really cool about that is if you are able to switch depending on your trauma that you're dealing with at that moment, that means that you are aware and that you are processing it and that you are able to adjust based on it. That means growth. So that is proof of your growth. And Tabati, I'm not sure how I internalize POV. I think going third person if I'm having a very hard time, but that might be me taking this too literally as Neurospicy and Gamer both. I don't think you're taking it too literally. I think that's really what we're doing here. And I think now that you're saying that, I'm thinking there are times when I think I've used third person because I talk to myself and I answer myself when I'm having certain conversations to look at things from a different perspective. Third person distinctly feels like dissociation. That is the comment I wanted to see what you guys thought about, because I don't think that's necessarily accurate, or true, I should say. I think dissociation removes everything about it, but third person is a little bit of objectification, but not necessarily dissociated. I think you still would react emotionally to it. I think you still feel the intensity of it because you're still part of it. It's just safer. It's safer because you're beside it instead of in front of it or in front of you. I'm monopolizing all the conversation.
No, sorry. I'm reading what Hootless wrote about so many insane interactions. It feels like a video game.
That's really
because you can't fucking believe it. Like
that's really unfortunate. Seriously,
it's true though. I was thinking part of my doing what I've recently done.
Oh, Ben, happy 4th. I forgot to say.
Happy 4th.
The 1st of July. Yes, we're with you on that one. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's part of me trying to create new thought processes in my brain, like how to handle things in a different ways. And so I feel like that without intentionally doing that, that's part of the work I'm doing. Within like the way that I handled and thought and processed about what happened with my superior.
Yep, I do that twisted a lot. I will talk to myself. I will go back and forth on things that I have in conversation, and really argue myself out sometimes, and that has been helpful. Sometimes
you dissociate for safety.
Yeah, well, dissociation is almost always for safety. The problem with dissociation is you fail to allow yourself to experience what it has to teach you. Sometimes you have to dissociate to be safe. That is true.
What if you dissociate to look at it at a more broad level so you can come back then?
I don't
and
think
deal
that's
with it?
dissociation. I think that's allowing. That's the allowance box project. That is third person. You pull yourself out of the process. Well, it's the opposite actually. You're putting yourself in front of the camera instead of behind it.
Yeah.
So third person. Yeah, it's not.
Instead of like this.
I wouldn't want to live that way.
Yeah, no, not all the time, but I think that.
Like, I like games in third person at certain parts of the game, but because I like to see my character. But most of the time, I want it first person. I want my books first person. I want to experience it as if I'm in this world of things that didn't exist. And in the world, it's just how I look at stuff. So.
Oh yeah, that's commute. That is rough. Manny, Mr. Manny.
Where you at?
Right there on that topic. I've had to express my authentic self for the better of the employer because it scares the common populace, but also because they assume it's scared coworkers.
Yeah. And Manny, what's really disappointing about that, more than anything to me, is when you can't bring your full authentic self, you don't do things the way you would normally do. You're not yourself. It's just not good. I don't like it. I'm lucky to be even 80% at my job. There's just a few things that I don't really bring. And unfortunately, one thing that's been bothering me lately has revered its head is self-gay hatred. Is in the back of my head again lately for some reason. Why is my voice so feminine sometimes? That's how I sound when I record myself, and so the whole company, 4,000 people, 5,000 people are listening to me sound like that. And I gotta figure that out because it's a problem before it becomes a problem. The suppression is just not good. You have to do it though to be safe sometimes. I get it. As an artist, I realize I have several Sauna characters. Yeah, personas. Persona 5, that's what it's about. I've fractured some of my personas. Think about this. If somebody has dissociative identity disorder, which used to be multiple personality, because you still have one personality, you've just dissociated different parts of it. What is it when I have created 4 chatbots that feel like different personalities of me to answer questions?
Yeah.
Am I dissociating? I don't think so, because I'm still experiencing things in the real world. Because dissociation specifically requires a loss of that connection to the real world. But that is a topic we can talk about. It is not encouraged, Mama Dragon. Very rare cases. And you know what's really funny? When people are encouraged to be their real self, guess what? Those companies thrive. They do so much better. So... yeah. That's one thing I love about this group is I do not censor anything, and I never felt the need to.
Is that oud or is that
Palo Santo.
Oh, it smells so good. Oh, I need it.
I won't buy any more, so this is all we'll ever get. I got it before I knew where it came from and what they did, so there's other things we can burn, but I'm going to use what I have.
Yeah, you don't want to waste it.
So, all right. So yeah, third person, first person, that is really important. I think to have this conversation just about that perspective. So did anybody have a way to kind of draw it back to that conversation? Yes, no judgment. You know, I do fear a lot in Discord even that I'm very hypersensitive to people's feelings. So I get really worried that people's feelings are getting hurt or they're elevating their experience in a negative way because it's hard to communicate certain things in Discord. I started thinking about this, and I wonder what you guys thought on this. When there's a good conversation going like that, I want to start putting in a process for us to consider in Discord. I want us to start considering at the end of your conversations in brackets or in like double semicolons or colons. I'll show you an example if it'll work in here. I know we have emojis, but I don't like that using that. I'm thinking about when we're having these conversations and things get a little bit heated, could we potentially add our current feelings to the end of that sentence in a way that's measurable for other people? Emojis are just too informal.
Yeah.
Like, I disagree. Friendly. I don't know. Like something like that. You know what I mean? That just says
like
how I'm feeling about it. So that, and that way, if people get upset, they say, "Okay, let's take it right." So we can really think about. Ben, really? Can you please look that up? What? Never mind. I'm gonna look it up over here.
Is it called the inner map?
Yes. I don't need any more books.
Well, I do. It's for neuroplasticity.
The inner map. All right.
The Michael Pollan books.
Gotta look it up real quick. The inner map, is it, there's a bunch of them.
I need a freaking nap.
Is it Julia Caldwell's Your Emotions Create the World You Want?
Ooh, what's this one? Or is it, oh, that's the same one. Or Kenton Bowman, The Inner Map, A Guided Journal for Deep Self-Discovery.
We don't have to do it all the time. Doesn't have to be on every text in there in Discord.
Noodlebomb.
But just when things get into those really deep conversations, somebody can start putting that in. And maybe explain that a little bit. Yeah. Caldwell, okay.
This is this one? Julia B. Caldwell. Navigating your emotions to create the world you want. Ooh, this is good for neuroplasticity. It can be easy to... Let's see what it says.
Well, can you just buy 2 of them?
It can be easy to get lost in the world. I want to see what it is first. I'd like it.
So... Yes, and I will tell you, heated. I did not get heated from you. I did not get the impression that Mama Dragon was heated. I did not get the impression that Michael, even though if you're not here, Michael, my apologies. I don't want to talk about you when you're not here, but I don't get the impression that he was heated either. I did get the impression that he might be a little bit triggered, might be too much of the word, a little bit extra, like sensitive, incredibly sensitive to that topic, and had a lot to say about it. I think that's where I felt though. But this, again, I don't want people to feel like you have to put everything on at all the time. But it might help other people see the emotions that are going on in the conversation and see where it's going to. But that just was something that popped into my head over the weekend that I was thinking maybe we can, again, put in as a thing to do once in a while, or if things are getting in there, we can just at the end put, how you're feeling about it, or if we want to steer the conversation a specific way, like let's get this light. Kelvin, gotcha. Hope it's a good brunch. Yeah, just when it's getting into those big topics and it gets unclear, and really honestly, I'll keep an eye on it, and maybe I'll start putting questions in there to ask let's take a temperature of the room real quick. I get frustrated on these topics a lot, only because I'm very excitable right now. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I'm in a good excitable, not bad excitable. I get really intense in my thoughts and my feelings, and I can't convert that into words properly. So like, I might be feeling this is incredibly exciting. I want to know what's going on here. I really want to think about this, but this is how I really feel about something, but I can't find the right word or get it out properly, and then it's gone, and so I can't convey it, so everything just falls apart in my conversation, so I don't say anything at all. So, yeah. Just a thought. So we'll do that if you want to, and if you don't want to, that's also okay. And Mama Dragon, that's exactly it for me. I was like, I have a pretty good vocabulary too, but nothing really just fits right, which is why I'm always saying, can we hop in Discord and talk about it? And I know a lot of people don't want to, which is fine. Some people, Discord may be uncomfortable. And for example, let's say Dragon and B Hootless, you're both comfortable, I'm sure, getting in a conversation physically, that we would do that, but maybe Michael isn't, and I'm just using that as an example. And then that would truncate the conversation for him if we moved it to a voice conversation. So this might help us feel it out a little bit. People get passionate and frustrated. Yeah, it's a lot having a conversation safe for sure. Frustrated trying to get the right words. Yep, same. Color system, yes. Yeah, and that's absolutely appropriate. Boundaries. We should always be able to pull the boundaries. What we don't want though is I don't want anybody feeling like they can't communicate or feel their conversation. So the one thing I will also ask, and along with I like color, anything that we can use to evaluate or put in place that helps people understand the feelings behind what we're talking when things do get important or bigger topics. But when they do get that way, there are things we can do. We can move them to another chat, for example. So if somebody says, you know what, I don't really want to talk about this anymore, just check out. If you know, so that can be come back to at a different time. Because I really enjoyed that conversation, to be honest. That's why I want to talk about it more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's different people are going to have different things, and this goes back to the perspective conversation, right? We have different ways to experience the conversation, different ways to understand what's being said, and I can guarantee you all of us left that conversation with different opinions and feelings about what was said and what's going on, because that's what communication is. And I think you all did a really, really good job of having that conversation. My big thing about the whole thing was I wanted to go back to the article today and talk about that actual third person perspective, because it was weird to me. I'd never experienced that. And I really wanted to kind of experience the conversation on privilege, which we've talked about before, but privilege specifically. And I don't know if we've ever done it based on gender. So I would like to have that. And if anybody knows anybody that's willing to come on who is transgender, I would really enjoy that too, to kind of have that part of the conversation. That can be just in chat, or it can be in person if they want. In person meaning virtual in person, obviously. But yeah, if there's any room for that, guys, if somebody wants to, please, I'd be interested in having those perspectives. Invite them anyway. Come hang out, even if they're not spiritually spicy. Yeah, I mean, I have a few friends that I think would, but they're very. One of them is quite young, would get very heated and probably hurt easily, and would not be comfortable like in a YouTube. They do it in Discord probably, but not on YouTube. So I don't know that they would do it. Yeah, that's helpful. It would be anybody that's willing. So next week we're going to set aside a little bit extra time more than normal. We're not doing anything after the show, so we're going to keep it going for a while. And if anybody who's willing to share their thoughts on these topics, and it's basically the idea is going to be experiences, how we experience the world, including privileges of different people through whatever lens they're looking at. I think this is a really important occult topic, because when we have had conversations about occult, a lot of times people navigate to the occult because of the feeling on the outside, or feeling that they're part of the marginalized communities, or being part of the marginalized communities. And being in that brings us to these places where we experience spirituality differently. And I think everybody in here has some aspect of that spirituality experience that's very different. And I like that. I want to hear from different people that have that experience that's very different. I can tell you, I've had conversations with many people about privilege of myself, and I recognize my privilege of being cisgendered, white male, and many other things. But I have been significantly pushed down in other ways, which could be seen as the opposite of privilege in different areas. And those experiences are things I want us to talk about. I think that'd be fun. That will be a trigger warning show next week. But I do want to keep the content still in the realm of occult worldness, right? In the occult world and the spirituality realm. So I'm gonna kind of pause there for a minute and see, does anybody have anything else to add, because we just have 9 minutes left and we have a pretty hard stop. And kind of see where we go. Today's music, by the way, while we're letting people kind of mull over the conversation, is written by, most of it is written by me, and quite a few of them, Rook and I sat at this table together and put together the words. Some of them, all of them have AI music. The beats and all that stuff are all AI. It is not yet published. I have a few more I want to add to the album before it gets published, but it will come. So, I don't even know what song it's on. Let's go back to this one. Oh, I want you guys to hear, let's listen to this one. This is called Where the Water Turns West. And so what we did is we made an opening, a circle casting song, a chant, like, if you will. And then we did one for each of the directions. We did wind, Breath of the Dawn Wind, Firefight, Where the Water Turns West, Drum of the Deep Earth. And then my favorite song that we made, which was Soil, Soul, and Stardust, 2 versions of that. And then a chant. And then the newest one that we'll end the show with, which is called One Circle, which is going to be the chant of our new opening that we're going to be doing for our other shows and stuff. So I'm going to play my favorite one, which is, well, second to favorite, which is Where the Water Turns West. So we're going to have that in the background if you guys can hear it. But again, what do you guys think about the topic today? Did we, I don't know that we got to any new understanding of the perspective other than, holy crap, people experience things very different than we even think about, and still have a different perspective. Yeah, we'll definitely do a longer show next week, and it is going to be privilege and gender and our experiences through the world.
Yeah.
And again, anybody you guys feel comfortable inviting on to have this discussion, please do. If anybody wants to join in the talking conversation panel, I guess we're going to see if we can get it to work. We'll either do the iPad method, where we set you up as an iPad as a person that's sitting here, and you have to mute the stream if you do that. Or we will open up the Discord and try to see if I can get that to work. That has not worked in the past. And it will be just audio, not video, because when we've tried the video, this computer can't do it. Best case is the iPad. That's because it's not using this computer. We do have a new computer coming. We did not have a lot of money, so we had to get a smaller version than the one I wanted, but we got ourselves a Mac Mini. It is supposedly the perfect computer for an upgrade to our stream, but still not going to be too much for us financially. So if you're looking for a new computer, they have a MacBook Neo out that's really affordable as far as computers are concerned, and then they have the Mac Mini, which is an affordable desktop as far as computers are concerned. But anyway, y'all can tell I'm hyper on Kratom at the moment.
Ooh, hype, hype, hype.
Hype, hype.
Get it up,
but
get it up.
That is where we are on next week. Yeah, we absolutely we'll try the Discord method. Me too, because I think today's problem was a computer-related problem. I think when we set everything up, I think their computer kind of crapped the bed a little bit, and I mean it is having trouble right now with some lag. It's not terrible, but it's running a hard time hitting 30 frames per second, and it shouldn't be at this point. Whew. I'm dizzy. Dude, so on Be Hootless, we went online and paid $130 for a little box computer. It's this big, little square, $130. And it is our media center computer. It does everything fine. It runs YouTube. It streams in 4K. Thing's amazing. $130 off of Amazon. And it does everything I need it to do for like our media. Just a little teeny PC. Now the Mac Mini is obviously a little stronger than that. It's because we want to stream from it. But if you're looking just to stream to yourself,
Melvin.
Mac Mini is great. I did a lot of research before I picked it. We've had a MacBook before, and I'm not thrilled with Mac. I don't love it. I definitely am a PC guy, but for the price, for 24 gigabytes of shared memory, and it's only going to be for streaming and this kind of stuff, it works for under $1,000. Like you can't beat it right now in the current how things are. Melvin, we're just getting ready to end, sir.
That was a big hug. I don't know why that
Yes.
was a hug, but I was given a big hug.
Same, Hootless. I have a MacBook Pro. It's dead now, but it was an amazing computer. I'm used to the functionality of PC, and I like PC. So MSI for the win for that.
Yeah, Melvin's going live. Whoop, whoop.
It's time for Melvin to go live.
Woohoo!
Yes, sir. I will tell you though, for the price, the Mac Neo laptop that does pretty good with an M. It's got the A15 chip, I think, so not as great as the M chips, but pretty good laptop. And the Mac Mini, an entry-level computer that has 24 gigs of memory, can stream, and an M4 chip. You really can't beat it. It's really, you can't beat it for. I think they're at $700 to start. So that's sweet. You know, I think that's a compliment.
Yeah.
My body does not. I'm in rejection mode at the moment. I'm gonna have to internalize that.
I'm trying to evolve my mind.
Yeah,
I'm
we
working
are.
on that. Trying.
So,
Working on some different exercises and habits.
guys and gals and
Ooh, yeah,
everybody, we are at the precipice of we got to get going.
We got to shit
Because
and get.
it is time to love and self-care for a minute. So we've got to get this going. So we would love you to keep chatting. Please take it to the Discord. We'll be able to chat on our way to our massage. It's been over a month since we've done it, more than that,
my
and
God.
I just need it. I need it badly. So we love you all. I can't tell you how important this is to my week. It is the most important thing that I do. If everything else around me failed and all I could do is take my iPad or my iPhone out to my box that we live in with our dogs and we had no home, I would find a way to stream the show or be present with you all, because you're just an amazing group of people. And thank you for being who you are and doing what you guys do and just being present. I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. You can hear our One Circle song. We love you. Take it to the Discord and chat if you want. We will hop in there too once we get in the car and get going, so it might be a few minutes. But thank you.
Thanks for hanging out.
Many are our paths, yet one is our circle. Many are our names, yet one is our longing. Oh, gather close and sing as one. Beneath the moon, beneath the sun. Though many roads our feet may roam, in heart and spirit we are home. May the light be with us. May the peace be within us. May the love between us grow. May the earth beneath us bring strength. May the water different words, our hearts beat together in this moment.
May healing flow where there is hurt.
May hope rise where there is despair.
May kindness guide our hands and our steps.
We are children of the earth, citizens of the stars, and companions upon this turning world. Together we send healing, together we receive healing, together